Hey, I'm Lucas. Look at this. Look at that beautiful view. Look at this fancy room. So what I just showed you was a little room that me and 9 other people, oh, there's the car, me and 9 other people were staying for the Easter holidays. As well, we were at the beach, and look, and I'm serious, the view is spectacular. For the moment there's palm trees covering the way, but if I raise it a bit, you can see, oh, after the next set of houses, there we go. Look at it, look at it, isn't it beautiful? So right now, look at it again, oh, not very focused, okay, there we go, look, that's basically what I got to stare at for like the entire 4 days. And right now we are actually on the final day and we're leaving to the airport. I'm really tired because we had to wake up at 5 o'clock in order to catch the airplane. So right now we're in Vietnam and we're at this resort, this beautiful resort where we stayed, and we also had this huge fancy room. And we had this fancy house, and the one I showed you, that was the main room where me and a friend went to sleep, basically live. And we also had 4 other rooms, no, 3 rooms, 4 rooms in total, and we each stayed in separate rooms, so 2 people per room, and the last person, because we were 9, the last person slept with the parents. So, and yeah. So right now we're getting to the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm exhausted. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop it here for the moment, and I'll continue the rest of the vlog once we reach next destination. For the moment, see you. Alright, and I'm back. Maybe a bit too far. I planned to finish this vlog in Ho Chi Minh City, and now I ended up finishing it here, back at home. Alright, now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm pretty sure you expected me to talk about the trip from here to there, and in fact, that is probably what I'm going to do most of the time. This was quite an interesting holiday, and I'm saying this in the least stereotypical way as I could. I could say it was an amazing experience, or I could say it's quite interesting, it was unusual, but I'm just gonna say it was different. It was not exactly what I was thinking of, and I didn't particularly say I hated it. It's just not that I enjoyed it as much, mainly because of the couple of reasons that I'm about to outline below. First of all, life lesson. If you ever go to Vietnam, you better get your visa before you get there, because it takes half an hour to get your visa applied. It's because the efficiency there is so bad. It's even worse than the country I live in currently. And it takes forever just to process your visa, and they have to go through like 50 people. I mean, not everyone has to get their visa done, because most of them get their visa done before they actually leave their respective country. But some people think it's a good idea to get the visa in Vietnam because they think, it's in the country, it's a bit faster. But the thing is, in the country where you live, if you get the visa there, you're kind of alone. While if you in Vietnam, you kind of have to do it with 50 other people, so that kind of lags it by 50 other people, and you're gonna have to wait for 49 people before you get your visa done. Another thing is the flight. It's not that the flight from here to Vietnam, that was alright. But the thing is, you know that clip I showed you at the beginning of the video? That was on an island, and the problem was we had to go from Vietnam to that island. and we didn't take a boat. We took an airplane. Now, obviously, it's an island, so there's not going to be that much traffic. It literally is a tiny plane from there and back. One single plane to take people from that island to Vietnam. Well, it's still Vietnam. I mean, I'm talking from Ho Chi Minh City to Con Đảo, which is the island where I went. It's one of the smallest planes I've ever ridden on. And you know, those big airplanes, they have these sort of turbines that are covered by sheet of metal. It's kind of like a circle, and then there's this gray thing in front, and then it looks like a turdy thing. Well, that was not on the airplane. It was more like a propeller, like these long thingies which would just start turning, and you could actually literally see them turn right outside your window. It was something scary, um, as well as the airplane, because of being so tiny, shook like how I'm shaking this hot sauce. I don't know. I don't want to swear in a video, but it really was a. I don't want to swear. Right. Not only that, of course, we had problems when we got to the hotel. I mean, we didn't have problems immediately, or we had a couple, but those were fixable, like just a broken lamp or something, shards of glass on the floor, not really properly cleaned. But on the first day, actually, nothing bad happened the first day. It was more on the second day that things started to go wrong. We went to this village near our hotel. Actually, it's not really a hotel, it's more of a resort, which is why we had that big pool. So we went to that village. Now, it's a very nearby village, and to get there, we had to go through this 2 minute car trip up and down the mountain. And of course, it was a pretty short ride. So on the way there, my dad thought, huh, it is a good idea to actually walk back to the resort. So most of us agreed, me being the only exception. So we did that. I mean, we didn't walk yet. We did all of the stuff in the village, and then once we started walking back. It started getting dark. So we first walked halfway through the village. So we ended up at a crossroad, and then we had the choice to go left or right. Now, my father, for some reason, thought that left was the correct direction, but actually, the road that we had to take went um, by the river, and the I mean not by the river, by the coastline, and the coastline was to our right. So naturally, we should have taken the right because that's where the road is. But because the road went into the mountains, my dad thought, well, left, there's the mountains, let's go left. We then got to a point where we realized, hang on, we're on the wrong road. But instead of turning back, because it would only take us 5 minutes to go back, we decided, well, it might branch back together, so let's go straight. We did ask a local, and he said, yes, it will. But when we went to a certain point, we ended up in a religious area, and then halfway through the religious area, we turned back. Mainly because we had no idea where it would go, and we didn't really want to stay there for quite some time because we were wearing shorts, and apparently that is forbidden in a religious area. So finally, we called in a taxi, and then we ended up back home. Luckily, we ended up back home. It was also a bad idea, mainly because it was starting to get dark. My mom was sick, and also there was no lights on the road, so we would have to walk in pitch blackness, as well as the road being pretty steep, as we realized when we were bicycling the next day. Speaking of sickness, I am sick right now, and it doesn't look like it, but that's because I get diarrhea. I probably got food poisoning. and it's not as serious as the last time I got food poisoning, where I literally stayed up for an entire night, having diarrhea every half an hour. I don't know how does that work. I don't think I've eaten that much food before, but I do have diarrhea. I don't know how I got it. It was around the same time after I um, went to the village. Also, kind of after when we went to the village, that was when I started getting diarrhea. And it was more of a pain in the stomach first, but then suddenly it went to a full blown stomach war, and then stuff ejecting from my from my not my belly, my bum hole, and it still went. It still progressed. It still went on until Ho Chi Minh City. I didn't go to the toilet yet, so I have yet to find out how my poop will look like once I sit on the toilet. And otherwise, everything seems to be fine in terms of sickness, but not. But I'm talking about diseases kind of sickness. There is still the physical sickness, which is the fact that I've still got sunburned everywhere twice. Yes, I can actually show it to you right now. Did someone cut the video? Don't hurt me. Okay, I think they're gone. Back to the video. What was there else? Oh, right. The snorkeling trip. Literally the worst trip of my life. You'll probably think snorkeling. It's with the mask and the tube. Nothing could go wrong there. Except I managed to inhale through my nose 2 nosefuls of water, one in 2 different locations. I managed to do that because the mask that they gave us was so ineffective that it kept seeping water into my nose. And of course, because science, water enters your nose because atmospheric pressure is equal on has to equalize on both sides. So water enters through the nose and stuff happens, and then I end up almost drowning twice. As well as there really being not many corals because the reef was already dying, and yeah. I mean, the boat trip was the part that was worth it because, well, boat trips. Whee! But otherwise, the actual snorkeling was bad, as well as someone accidentally stealing my stuff because they thought it was their stuff. Eventually, it wasn't my stuff to begin with, but eventually they found another pair of stuff that I could use for the snorkeling trip. But otherwise, it was pretty bad. Actually, I would have rather they didn't find any equipment so that I could stay on the boat and watch other people do stuff. Because I got the second sunburn from there. The first sunburn I got in the pool, by the way. Oh, and also, by the way, the pool you just saw outside, that's where we played. And unfortunately, that pool is also really badly located in a pile of shrubs. Not on it, uh, the shrubs are around it. And the problem is that if a ball lands in there, we have to get out of the pool and find it, and it's a pain. We had to get it at least 20 times in our trip, mainly because we have really good throwers, and the ball likes bouncing out of the pool, as you saw probably in the footage. Actually, you probably didn't. That's kind of a no edge pool. I wouldn't say an infinity edge because the edge is so blatantly there, but it's a no edge pool, and balls can easily roll off it if given enough energy. I mean, there is still a little grating at the bottom for the water to collect, and so the ball can still land there. But the ball's really bouncy, so it would probably just bounce and land in the shrubs somewhere, as well as being really, really hard. I mean, it doesn't sound hard, but when you are bare naked and you've got to walk through piles of sharp shrubs, it's not as fun as it sounds. Finally, sleeping. I had the least amount of sleep in a long time in that field trip. Partly because I like playing in the middle of the night, but also because we ended up having to take a flight at 7 a.m. and that means we had to wake up 2 hours before that, so we had to wake up at 5. And since I went to bed at 10 the night before, which is technically quite reasonable for a person like me, but not if you're waking up at 5. If you're waking up at 8, it's fine. If you're waking up at 5, well, that can cause problems like being extremely grumpy, without which I was half of the day. If you're listening to me and you were on the trip, I apologize for being that grumpy, but that's how I react when I don't have enough sleep. Otherwise, I also I took a nap then, and I plan to do it afterwards, but I was enjoying the fast internet that I don't have here. I just realized this video, it's all about the bad stuff that happened on my holiday. I mean, it was a pretty good holiday because we went to the beach. Who would not enjoy going to the beach? And we went to the pool every day. Even though the objective of the holiday was to eat and drink a lot, we still ended up hating most of the food there. I mean, it wasn't bad food, it was just nothing special food. And I hate fish, so that helps making it bad because we had seafood like 90% of the time. But otherwise, there is really nothing bad about going to the beach. It's just that so many bad things happened. It seems like all the luck has vanished from me, and now I only have the misfortunes of, I don't know, everyone else. Everything bad happened to me only. No one else got sunburned. Actually, no, a lot of people got sunburned, but no one else got diarrhea. And I even ate the last that day. Strange. Right. And just at the end, I'm gonna put a little video of me pranking someone on April the 1st. Yay! Because of course it's April the 1st. Actually, no, it's April the 2nd today. But on April the 1st, you've got to prank someone. So I gave someone an Oreo with toothpaste instead of the white stuff. And this is how it turned out. Now, sorry for the bad video ship, but I had to do it because I had to hide the camera. But anyway, I'm just gonna exit right now. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, click the like button. If you didn't like it, click the dislike button. Otherwise, leave a comment if you want to add anything. I'm Lucas. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you watch another one of my videos. And goodbye!